Welcome to Chinese Novel Audiowave, where captivating Chinese novel audiobooks await you. Subscribe now and join the adventure.
Chapter 21 The Bai family is hiding their clumsiness. 100 Sword Formation. Although this formation has the word 100 in its name, it does not consist of 100 swords. This formation is also a relatively special formation. It can be formed with as few as 5 swords, and as many as hundreds, or even thousands, all depending on the strength of the formation master. The 100 sword formation is mainly used to trap enemies. Although it has a decent lethality, it is still much worse than a real killing formation. There is no controller in this formation. The formation relies entirely on the self-defense mechanism to fight against the enemy. Elder Jin stood in front of the 100 swords formation and explained to Bai Feng, "If you want to pass, you must use your own strong strength to break through, or we can only find loopholes in the formation to break through it. But there should be no points for the former, right?" Hearing Bai Feng's question, Elder Jin was stunned for a moment, but he quickly came to his senses and nodded. "That's right, because this is a formation test, so using brute force to break it is equivalent to failure in the test." "I understand, Senior, please activate the formation." "Well, if you can't hold it anymore, you must tell me and I will stop in time." After being told a few more things to pay attention to, Bai Feng seemed a little impatient before Elder Jin let him into the formation. "Why do I feel that this elder is so verbose? Shouldn't the disciples be allowed to realize this kind of thing on their own? Isn't it a bit too much to give so many hints?" Bai Feng muttered a few words in his heart. As the formation opened, he quickly put away his distracting thoughts and began to focus on thinking about ways to break the formation. Although he had the strength of the formation great accomplishment, he still felt a little panicked when he saw hundreds of swords hanging brightly above his head in the formation. At this time, the sword on Bai Feng's head quickly slashed downwards. He did not respond with his sword, but took a step back. Immediately afterwards, the second sword fell quickly, and Bai Feng stepped back again, avoiding the sword's slash. Bai Yumo, who was outside the formation, clenched her skirt nervously. She was a little anxious. Why did Bai Feng keep dodging? As the 100 sword formation continues to activate, with too many long swords slashing, sooner or later there will be nowhere to hide. Unlike the anxious Bai Yumo, her master Chu Ningyan instead let out a light sigh. Although Bai Feng is constantly moving around in the formation, which seems difficult, he is not hiding randomly. Every step he takes falls on the node of the formation. But she couldn't see what Bai Feng wanted to do. If he wanted to leave the 100 swords formation, there was no need to be so troublesome and complicated. At the same time, after receiving the news that Bai Feng was about to start the assessment, the disciples in Tianjian sect came over secretly. Some people want to see Bai Feng's jokes, while others are tired of the true and false news and want to see for themselves what kind of person senior sister Bai's brother is, and some even come here just because they have nothing to do. Join in the fun. Chu Ningyan discovered these hiding disciples immediately, but she did not drive them away. Instead, she allowed these disciples to watch. Although she was the peak master of Tianjian sect, she had also heard the rumors circulating among ordinary disciples, so she planned to take this opportunity to help clarify those rumors. "Oh, I just said that Bai Feng is a waste. It is so difficult to hide in a small 100 sword formation, and he still wants to join the Tianjian sect. Bah! Why doesn't he draw his sword? Maybe it's because I'm worried about exposing my useless strength, haha. No, he's not hiding, he's..." Ding tilde. A disciple who was proficient in the formation suddenly discovered something, but before he could finish speaking, the sound of metal collision suddenly sounded within the formation. Immediately, everyone quickly looked into the 100 sword formation, but Bai Feng still did not draw his sword. At this time, he had stopped dodging and allowed the sword to fall towards him. Bai Yumo outside the formation had already put her hand on the sword. If Chu Ningyan hadn't put her hand on her shoulder, she would have rushed in. At the moment when the long sword was about to fall on him, a long sword in the formation suddenly bumped into him, knocking the chopping sword away. The collision was like a match that lit a fuse. At the next moment, a large number of long swords began to lose control and turn to slash at their teammates. FK. Damn it, he's not hiding, he's reconstructing the formation. Is this guy a monster? The disciple who was proficient in formations immediately cursed. He felt that he had learned from dogs for half his life. For a moment, the disciple who had been shouting just now fell silent, his face looking very ugly. This scene definitely makes them look like clowns who don't understand anything. As expected of Junior Sister Bai's brother, his talent is not much different from that of Junior Sister Bai. Sure enough, the rumors are wrong. The Bai family is hiding their clumsiness. At the same time, Bai Feng was nearing the end. 300 of the 333 long swords in the 100-sword formation were already under his control. It was only a matter of time before he could control the remaining 33 swords. This is his first time to reverse the formation, and he is quite satisfied with the result. He should be able to get a high score this time, right? At the same time, he also discovered that the god forging technique was far more than as simple as described. The fact that he was able to find the nodes of the formation so easily this time was also thanks to the god forging technique. With the blessing of the god forging technique, he could quickly scan it with his divine consciousness. Find the node location. If he didn't have the god forging technique, he would probably have to resort to the next best thing and find the main key nodes to close the formation. Soon, the last long sword was passed by him. Now the 100-sword formation has become his shape, and the command authority was directly passed by him. Senior, should I pass this? Bai Feng lined up his swords in a row and turned to look at Elder Jin with dull eyes. Elder Jin only felt like he was dreaming at this moment. How the hell can a human being do this? Although it is not that no one has done anything to reversely control the formation to kill the enemy before, but they were all formation masters who have been famous for a long time. This guy Bai Feng is only in the foundation building stage. The 100 swords formation is not bad. Low-level guy, how could he do that? Elder Jin did not answer. Instead, he turned to look at Chu Ningyan. Elder Chu, I don't think there is any need to continue the assessment. Chu Ningyan also nodded. Even though she had never learned the formation, she could still see how outrageous Bai Feng's behavior was. I didn't see that 3 of the formation disciples had been carried down, and there were still 2 people with dull eyes, who kept muttering, impossible, absolutely impossible. Everything is fake, fake. I will tell the sect master about this, let him first. Chu Ningyan glanced at Bai Yumo who couldn't help but smile. Let him live in my Qingzu Peak first, and then let's see how the sect master arranges it. Yes. Elder Jin nodded and then resigned. This matter was no longer something that an ordinary elder like him could intervene in. Chu Ningyan walked to Bai Feng's side and said with a smile, congratulations on passing the examination. From now on you are a disciple of the Tianjian sect. Aren't there 3 assessments? Bai Feng blinked, then he glanced at Bai Yumo and waved his hand quickly. No, I have to take all the exams. Even if you are Bai Yumo's master, you can't break the rules. Chu Ningyan felt a little funny and stretched out her finger to flick Bai Feng's forehead. Don't get the advantage and act well. You can reconstruct the formation. Are the next 2 tests still meaningful? This. Bai Feng really didn't expect this, so you don't need to continue taking the next 2 exams. Let's go, you can stay on my Qingzu Peak first, and then the sect master will help you make arrangements. Chapter 22 Hand over the thing that controls senior sister Bai quickly. Bai Feng followed Chu Ningyan to Qingzu Peak. The first thing he did when he came to Qingzu Peak was to open the system and scan it. I'm lucky. Apart from Bai Yumo, I didn't see many other children of luck. However, the possibility of the son of luck going out cannot be ruled out. At the same time, Bai Feng also quietly looked around. Just like the name of Qingzu Peak, the most numerous emerald green bamboos on this mountain peak. Your situation is quite special, so I need to ask the sect master. You will stay at Qingzu Peak for the next few days. As Chu Ningyan spoke, she glanced at Bai Yumo, who was trying to maintain a straight expression. You can live next door to Yumo first, so you 2 brothers and sisters can also chat. Bai Feng made a move. After learning that he was going to stay in Qingzu Peak for a few days, he knew that this would be the case. But it's not a bad thing. In a dangerous and unknown environment, having a good relationship with a child of luck can actually be a help. Yes, thank you very much, Elder Chu. Well, I'm going to report to the sect master, so I won't disturb you anymore. Chu Ningyan nodded with satisfaction and gave Bai Yumo a few words of advice. Yumo, take Bai Feng around the Tianjian sect more often. Get to know each area of Tianjian sect. She asked Bai Yumo to introduce Bai Feng to the sect, not only because Bai Yumo was Bai Feng's sister, but also because she also wanted to end the rumors. After all, Bai Feng has joined the Tianjian sect, and his talent in formations is very demonic, so it would be best for those baseless rumors to disappear. Bai Yumo also understood what the master meant, and nodded quickly and said, "Yes, master." After Chu Ningyan left, Bai Feng turned to look at Bai Yumo, and then found that she was also looking at him. Take me to where I live first. Bai Feng sighed inwardly. Now he didn't dislike Bai Yumo so much. Especially in this unfamiliar environment, Bai Yumo gave him a sense of security. In addition, there is his best fan Lin Yan, who is also a son of luck who can provide a sense of security. Well, let's find a chance to say hello. The houses on Qingzu Peak are very simple, mostly built with bamboo and a few wooden boards. The interior decoration is also the same, with only the most basic living supplies: a bed, a few tables, a few chairs, and a futon for meditation. It's pretty good, you can get close to nature. Bai Feng commented like this. It's a bit crude. Bai Yumo scratched her face in embarrassment. Her master was a classical person and did not like fancy decorations. He advocated cultivating the mind and gaining enlightenment in a natural environment. This also resulted in the mountain where the master was located and her disciples being more or less affected by her. It's okay. This is good. It's just a change of environment. Bai Feng waved his hand. Anyway, he would only stay for a few days and treat it as a vacation. By the way, brother, let me take you around the sect. Bai Yumo said with a hopeful look on her face, but if you feel tired, you can do it tomorrow. I have always had time recently. Quote. Then let's take a stroll. I happen to be a little curious about Tianjian sect. It just so happened that he also needed to investigate the number of faithful sons of Tianjian sect. After all, this is the place where he will live in the future, so he can't do it without investigating clearly. Let's start with the mission hall where we receive the mission. The mission hall is located near the main peak and is easy to find. Bai Feng listened to Bai Yumo's introduction while staring at the system's Son of Destiny detector. He thought that Tianjian sect would have many children of luck, but to his surprise, he didn't see a few children of luck all the way. Did the children of destiny go out collectively? Or are they all busy practicing and not hanging out outside? Or is it that children of destiny prefer small sects and don't like to stay in large sects? Bai Feng couldn't help but mutter in his heart. But this is good news for him. Whether it is because the Sons of Destiny are busy practicing, or simply because the number of Sons of Destiny is scarce, it means that he can be much more relaxed in Tianjian sect. This is the Pill Peak. If you want to buy pills, you can come here. Bai Yumo didn't feel bored even after walking for a long time, and still had a smile on his face. Brother, where else do you want to go next? Well, no more, let's go back. The expression on Bai Feng's face was a bit unnatural. He always felt that the disciples of the Tianjian sect nearby seemed to want to eat him alive, which was really scary. What did I see? Senior Sister Bai from Qingzu Peak was actually laughing, and she was smiling so happily. Damn it, are the rumors really false? Senior Sister Bai must have been forced. Damn it, UBD Bai Feng, please hand over the thing that controls Senior Sister Bai. In addition to the disciples who still don't want to believe the reality, there are also a small number of disciples who are playing the role of second-guessing and pretending. Well, actually I thought the rumors were a bit outrageous before. If the bone-digging thing is really like the rumors, how come Senior Sister Bai still has such feelings for the Bai family? Indeed, I have seen it a long time ago, but the public opinion at that time was completely one-sided, so I didn't dare to say anything. Where does this hindsight come from, bro? Climb. I don't believe it. This must be an act. Even if you think about it, you know that the matter of bone digging has nothing to do with Bai Feng. As the person involved, Bai Feng could only pretend not to hear this. After all, people's prejudice is a big mountain and cannot be moved away so easily. Anyway, after the master of Tianjian sect made arrangements, he would stay at home and not go out, directly eliminating the possibility of being picked on by the extreme disciples. And Bai Yumo didn't care what the disciples around her were saying. She knew very well that under the influence of deep-rooted rumors, even if she came forward to explain, it would be interpreted as being forced by Bai Feng. It is better to put more energy on Bai Feng. Over time, the rumors will be self-defeating. Then let's go back. Bai Yumo glanced at the loudest disciples, then stretched out her hand to hold Bai Feng's arm. When Bai Feng looked over, she playfully stuck out her tongue. Let's go, brother, what are you doing today? What do you want to eat tonight? I remember there was no kitchen in the house. We can make something simpler. Bai Feng did not stop Bai Yumo's behavior. Although he could ignore the comments around him, it did not mean that he had no temper. Since others could not see the closeness between him and Bai Yumo, it would be better to act more intimately. If others feel unhappy, he feels happy. Sure enough, as he thought, most of the disciples around him looked shocked and in disbelief, especially those who were shouting the loudest, and their faces looked a little broken. But before he could leave Danfang, a disciple suddenly came out and blocked his way. Bai Feng, you are really good at it. The disciple narrowed his eyes, with anger in his eyes. You can deceive others, but you can't deceive me. Then he turned to look at Bai Yumo. Junior sister Bai, this is the Tianjian sect. You don't need to care about the Bai family. Even if he does something to you, we can help you solve it. You have to believe in the Tianjian sect. Bai Yumo. Chapter 23 I am the victim. Although Bai Yumo was a little angry in her heart, she still replied calmly, Thank you for your concern, senior brother, but I don't understand what you are talking about, senior brother. I am just taking my brother to get familiar with Tianjian sect. After seeing Bai Yumo hit a wall, the disciple turned to look at Bai Feng fiercely. Okay, you are trying to fool me. Don't force me to tell you what you did to junior sister Bai that night. Come out. Bai Feng. What night? What did I do to Bai Yumo? Senior brother, have you worked too hard in the past few days and are hallucinating? I just joined Tianjian sect and have never seen senior brother before. You really don't shed tears until you see the coffin. The disciple almost laughed in anger. Then let me give you a hint. That night, junior sister Bai was forced to put on a purple dress and bent down in pain on the street. Waste, how do you explain this? As soon as he finished speaking, several disciples suddenly made a burst of surprised discussion. Hiss, the Bai family is really nothing. Even if Bai Feng has not been punished, he actually tries to control senior sister Bai. I know Bai Feng is not a good person. Don't be afraid, senior sister Bai. This is Tianjian sect. The Bai family can't do anything to you. Their voices were so loud that almost everyone present heard their discussion, and some disciples who did not want to believe that Bai Feng was a good person immediately joined them. Bai Feng didn't pay attention to the comments of the people around him. When the other party reminded him, he really remembered. Isn't this the time when the system stuffed me with luck points? He gets angry when he thinks about it. It's obviously Bai Yumo who is tricking me. I'm the victim. Just when he was about to open his mouth to defend himself, Bai Yumo looked unhappy and answered first. Senior brother, I failed to attack the gold core at that time, so I am ill. Please stop thinking about it. Seeing that he didn't get the answer he wanted, the disciple suddenly became anxious. Junior sister Bai, why are you still speaking for him? What do you mean I speak for my brother? Bai Yumo's face has returned to calmness, but her eyes are cold and scary. I'm not feeling well and you can imagine that the Bai family is controlling me. I was chatting and joking with my brother. You can also imagine that I am being controlled by force. What do I need to do so that you will feel that my actions are out of my will? Junior sister Bai, this is not, this. The disciple felt a coldness, and even a hint of murderous intent in the coldness. He suddenly panicked, and his words were somewhat incoherent. Go away, don't let me see you again. Bai Yumo suddenly burst out with a strong aura. He had just been promoted to Gold Corps a few days ago, but his aura was comparable to those who had been in Gold Corps for many years. Next time I see you spreading rumors, try to see if my sword is sharp. Although this disciple was also in the Gold Corps stage, he was completely unable to resist Bai Yumo's murderous intent. He wanted to clench his teeth, but his body couldn't help but tremble. His whole body was like a deflated balloon. He persisted for a few seconds. Finally, he ran away in despair without saying a word. Bai Yumo turned her head and glanced at the disciples who spoke the loudest, with no concealment of the coldness in her eyes. Suddenly, they were like ducks being strangled by the neck. The noisy sounds suddenly disappeared, and cold sweat continued to remain on their foreheads. They felt as if they were in the cold winter, with only a thin piece of clothing on their bodies, and Bai Yumo's gaze was like a piercing pain. The cold wind is unbearable. Roll. The disciples suddenly felt their bodies light up, and they quickly rolled and crawled out of the crowd, almost using their maximum speed to disappear from everyone's sight. After doing all this, Bai Yumo let out a breath of cold air. She turned to look at Bai Feng, and a smile appeared on her face again. Brother, the problem is solved, let's go back. Seeing Bai Yumo changing his face so quickly, Bai Feng couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. You changed your attitude a little too quickly. I really didn't expect that his sister had such a terrifying side, and it felt like getting to know her again. Hey, congratulations to the host for driving away the younger brother of the Son of Luck by using the strategy of driving away tigers and devouring wolves. The host will be rewarded with 30 luck points and a cultivation speed of +3. Closing square bracket. After seeing the system pop-up window, Bai Feng suddenly narrowed his eyes. It wasn't because the system had stuffed him with luck points again, but because the words, Son of Luck's younger brother, caught his attention. At first I thought I just met an extreme disciple, but now it seems like some lucky boy can't stand him. That's right, if he was just an ordinary extreme disciple, how did he know about him and Bai Yumo going shopping at night? Who told him about this? It's really troublesome to be targeted by the Son of Destiny so quickly. Single quote. It seems that it is best not to go out these days and stay on Qingzu Peak to wait for the sect master's arrangements. I understand, you go down first. A slightly tall man played with the teacup in his hand, nodded and asked the man in front of him to retreat. If Bai Feng were here, he would find that the disciple who reported the news was the Gold Corps disciple who had previously slandered him for forcing Bai Yumo. After the Gold Corps disciple retreated, he turned to look at another man standing next to him. Junior brother, it seems that you didn't observe carefully enough. You didn't even see whether junior sister Bai was injured or poisoned by the Bai family. Not coming out. His voice was cold, and then he suddenly burst out with powerful momentum, knocking away the man closest to him and hitting the wall directly. If Bai Feng were present, he would have discovered that this person was senior brother Chen who had a conflict with him. The man coughed up a mouthful of blood. He covered his chest with one hand, his face full of fear and panic. Elder brother, I'm not. Shut up, I'm not interested in hearing your explanation. He narrowed his eyes and interrupted him directly, but then his eyes softened again. He reached out and took out a bottle of elixir from his storage bag and threw it to him. Here, take it and rest. Yes, thank you, senior brother. The man quickly took the elixir and swallowed it. His pale face suddenly became better. Senior brother, is this the matter now? Just forget it. How is it possible? He chuckled, but there was no smile in his eyes. Since Bai Feng still dares to approach junior sister Bai, he must die. Others may not know it clearly, but as a member of the Yi family, he still knows some secret information about the Bai family. Bai Yumo has no blood relationship with the Bai family, and Bai Feng's behavior undoubtedly touched his inner skin. In his opinion, he is the only one who can become a Taoist couple with junior sister Bai, and it must be him. However, Bai Feng was indeed a threat. In his opinion, Bai Feng definitely took advantage of Bai Yumo's immature thinking when he was a child. As for the Bai family's excuse for digging up bones, he didn't believe it at all. Even he could hardly resist the temptation of immortal bones, let alone the eldest young master of the Bai family who had mediocre talent. As a child of a big family, he is very aware of how coldly the disciples with average talents in a big family will suffer. These people's desire for power is greater than anything else. Chapter 24 The Son of Luck Radar has a new response. Ah, I really want to lie in bed and slowly get rotten. Bai Feng was like a salted fish, jumping on the bed and bouncing. Now that he has returned to Qingzu Peak, after experiencing so many things today, his social energy is almost exhausted. But he couldn't rest yet, he had to find a way to beware of the Son of Luck who was eyeing him for no reason. Is there a way to prevent the Son of Luck from taking action without obtaining luck points? For this reason, Bai Feng had to think. First of all, this Son of Luck was different from the ones he had encountered before. He was the first Son of Luck to take the initiative to provoke him. It's just that this method is really a bit clumsy. But think about it, in addition to upright sons of fate like Lin Yan, there are naturally selfish sons of fate who are even completely indistinguishable from villains, such as a certain San. Although he didn't see it with his own eyes, he guessed that the new Son of Luck would most likely be a selfish guy. This kind of child of luck is undoubtedly more difficult to deal with because they have no morals and bottom line. But all this was still his guess. He really hoped that he was wrong. Maybe the new Son of Destiny would be someone similar to Lin Yan. Let's find some means of self-protection first. For example, setting up a few layers of formations first, especially after being robbed by a witch, his sense of security at home has been greatly reduced. If this new Son of Luck is as unhuman as the witch, she might actually sneak into his home and mess with him. Although he is currently only temporarily living in Qingzu Peak, he must not give up because he is worried about waste. Learning the lesson of the witch once is enough. So Bai Feng took out a polished jade and placed it on the table, and then he kept taking out new materials. Deploy a killing array. No, it's too conspicuous. Let's set up a trapping array and a phantom array outside, and then use the spirit gathering array to disguise it. Bai Feng played with the materials in his hand and began to set up the formation while thinking. In the next few days, Bai Feng stayed at home and read. Occasionally, he and Bai Yumo would go to the library to borrow some books about the law manifestation. I have to say that the foundation of the Tianjian sect is indeed much deeper than that of the Bai family. I thought that the Bai family already had a lot of formations in their collection, but it was still far behind compared to the Tianjian sect. The main reason is that the rewards given by the system are only the most basic formations. If you want to learn other formations, you have to find them yourself. I don't know when Master Dao sect and the others will be able to finish their discussion. Bai Feng put down his book and stretched out. He thought he would only stay in Qingzu Peak for 2 or 3 days, but it turned out that it had been almost a week and there was still no result. If he hadn't been able to borrow all the law manifestation related books in the library for free, except for the highest level books, he would have felt that he had been forgotten by the Tianjian sect. At the same time, in the small room where the leader of the Tianjian sect and the major peak leaders were meeting, a big fight was going on. A burly bald man touched his smooth forehead. I think Bai Feng should enter the forging peak. Bah! You're so shameless. You're a physical practitioner and you're trying to steal the formation genius. Do you plan to carve formations on your body? Why not? Maybe Bai Feng can create a new school in our training peak. I remember that Bai Feng also has some talent for talismans. It would be better to enter Fu Peak. Ignore your more genius formation talents and learn your ghost painting talisman. Since the body training peak thinks they can do it, I think our Dan peak can do it too. Maybe we can create a school that engraves formations on elixirs. An old man said with a smile while stroking his beard. Then, we at weapon refining peak also have something to say. Shut up, you guys. Stop letting others go astray here. A middle-aged man with a serious face frowned and said, in my opinion, we should enter our divine sword peak. Sword formation is also a kind of formation. Quote, hey, then Baifeng should enter the main peak, Tianjian Peak. Can you still play swordsmanship at Tianjian Peak? Don't try to sow trouble between me and my senior brother. Our Divine Sword Peak and Tianjian Peak complement each other and are indispensable. If you join our Divine Sword Peak, you can also enjoy the treatment of Tianjian Peak. In my opinion, let's have a fight. Whoever wins Baifeng will go there. The bald head moved his neck. He was tired of this endless discussion every day. If this discussion continued, there might not be any results for a year. The other person shook his head and said, I think we should respect the disciple's opinion and ask Baifeng where he wants to go. Chu Ningyan, the elder of Qingzu Peak, looked at the sect master who had been silent for a long time, with a helpless look on his face. Sect master, do you have any plans? The sect leader touched his beard, shook his head and said, I have been paying attention to Baifeng's situation in the past few days. His talent for formations is terrifying, and he is also very diligent and studious. He hides in the house every day and reads books about the formation law manifestation. I'm afraid none of us here can teach him. Speaking of this, the sect leader couldn't help but sigh. As the largest sect in the Northern Territory, their Tianjian sect is quite powerful in not only swordsmanship, but also in physical training, alchemy, weapon refining, and talisman painting, but it lacks formation skills. This is not to say that Tianjian sect's formations are poor. On the contrary, Tianjian sect's formations are not weak and they have many formation disciples. However, they just lack the leading role at the top level. Peaks such as Dan Peak and Weapon Refining Peak did not exist when the Tianjian sect was founded. It was only after the emergence of several amazing and talented disciples that peaks such as Dan Peak and Weapon Refining Peak were built. Therefore, Baifeng's appearance was seen as an opportunity for him, an opportunity to improve the Tianjian sect system. But it is also a challenge. After all, Baifeng is not an ordinary disciple, but the eldest son of the Bai family in the Northern Territory. It is definitely difficult to keep him. Chu Ningyan obviously understood what the sect leader meant. After thinking for a few seconds, she suggested, in that case, let Baifeng be on the main peak, so that others will have no objections. But the sect leader shook his head. No, I told you, none of us can teach him, and neither can I. Then he turned to look at Chu Ningyan. I remember Baifeng's sister Bai Yumo as your disciple, right? Yes. Chu Ningyan nodded. Their relationship is quite good, not like the rumors. Well, the sect leader nodded, and soon had an idea in his mind. Then let Baifeng continue to live in Qingzu Peak, and don't bother him with tasks on weekdays. Let him study the formation. The method is pretty good. I'll talk to my old friend when I have time and see if I can bring back a formation master. Yes. Naturally, Chu Ningyan would not object. After all, it was like picking up a formation genius for nothing. But she won't do nothing, it's just that she really doesn't understand the formation, so she can only ask her friends for help in this regard. Baifeng didn't know what kind of turmoil his exposure of the formation, talent, caused among the top leaders of Tianjian sect. When he was studying the formation, he suddenly discovered that the radar of the Son of Luck had a reaction. And the location is on Qingzu Peak. Chapter 25 Luck Sucks the Dog. Who is it? Is it the Son of Destiny who targeted me before, or is there another Son of Destiny besides Bai Yumo on Qingzu Peak? Baifeng put down the book in his hand, walked quickly to the window and looked outside, and found a guy with a depressed look on his face. He looked haggard, with faint dark circles under his eyes, as if he hadn't slept for a long time. There was a wry smile on his lips, and it looked like he had some tragic story. Is this the Son of Luck? Abuse the mainstream luck child? Baifeng couldn't help but complain. But judging from the way he walked towards the other side, he probably wasn't here to find him, so it had nothing to do with him, as long as this child of luck didn't die at his door. If he were an ordinary person, he would still be curious and get together to eat the melon, but the child of luck decided not to do it because he was worried that the melon would be eaten by the melon in the middle of the meal. Just when Baifeng was about to continue studying, he found that the Son of Destiny had turned back and walked towards the building where he was. Are you really here to find him? Should I pretend not to be home? Just as he was thinking, he saw the son of destiny looking towards where the window was. Why don't you play your cards according to the routine? How could you not knock on the door and check if anyone is in the house? You should have closed the curtains earlier. Although Bai Feng was not standing in front of the window, he did not hide in the blind corner of the window. Naturally, he saw someone in the house at a glance. The son of luck was also very straightforward. He stopped, turned around and went straight to the window. Sorry, may I ask, isn't Senior Sister Yu Yao at Qingzu Peak? Senior Sister Yu Yao. I seem to have heard Bai Yumo mention it before. Single quote. Bai Feng was thinking in his heart, and at the same time he was also sizing up the other person. Could this son of luck be Senior Sister Yu Yao's licking dog? But seeing that the other party was not here for him, he felt relieved. So he shook his head. Sorry, I have only been here a few days and I don't know much about Senior Sister Yu Yao. That's it. The son of destiny was a little disappointed, but then he picked up his energy and replied, I am Luo Chen from Zishao Peak. If Senior Sister Yu Yao comes back, can you tell me? I will be there in the future. Thank you very much. Maybe I didn't make it clear before. I just joined Tianjian sect and I'm only temporarily staying at Qingzu Peak, so I'm afraid I can't help you. Bai Feng immediately waved his hand. Firstly, he really only knew his sister Bai Yumo on Qingzu Peak, and secondly, he didn't want to have anything to do with the son of destiny. Sorry, I was abrupt. The son of luck smiled bitterly. In that case, I'll wait a little longer. Well, sure. There is a 100% or even 90% chance that the other party is a licker. It's so novel to treat a child of luck as a licking dog. Oh, it's not new anymore. According to the normal plot development, this child of luck may be transmigrated, reborn, or even suddenly awaken. At this time, Bai Yumo opened the door of Bai Feng's room as usual, holding fresh spiritual vegetables and meat in his hand. Brother, let's eat today. Before Bai Yumo could finish speaking, she saw the two people standing outside the window, and her brain was a little confused for a moment. What are you doing? Why are you talking through the window? Seeing this, Bai Feng explained casually, he came to see Senior Sister Yu Yao. It turns out to be Senior Brother Luo. Bai Yumo walked to Bai Feng's side and looked out the window at the destitute son of luck. Senior Sister Yu Yao has gone out temporarily. I don't know when she will come back. Thank you, Junior Sister Bai, for informing me. Luo Chen cupped his fists and cupped his hands. Then he hesitated for a few seconds, then reached out and took out 3 bottles of elixirs from his body. Can you give this bottle of elixirs to Senior Sister Yu Yao? I want to ask her to help me. Give this bottle of elixir to Senior Sister Ji and say that Junior Brother Luo has realized his mistake. Why don't you give it to her yourself? Facing Bai Yumo's question, Luo Chen smiled bitterly. Senior Sister doesn't want to see me lately. Bai Yumo nodded. She continued to look at the other 2 bottles of elixirs and asked, what are these 2 bottles for? Are they given to your junior sister? No, after all, I can't let Junior Sister Bai and Senior Sister Yu work on my trivial matters. Please accept these 2 bottles of elixirs. There's no need for the elixir. Bai Yumo waved her hand. I will tell Senior Sister, but I can't guarantee whether she will agree. Thank you, Junior Sister, that's fine. Luo Chen obviously relaxed, handed over the elixir, thanked him and left. Bai Feng looked at Luo Chen's retreating back, and couldn't help but mutter in his heart, is he really a licking dog? It's just that Senior Sister Ji's licking dog. So much so that he felt that this child of fate was no threat and there was no need to be wary of him at all. After speaking, he looked at Bai Yumo. Does this person come to Qingzu Peak often? Well, he is a very difficult person to evaluate. Bai Yumo briefly talked about it, and the plot was quite easy to understand. It was just that he was framed before and stole his junior brother's pill, but his junior sister and senior sister all felt that he was wrong. A similar thing probably happened this time, so I turned a corner and asked Senior Sister Yu Yao for help. Bai Feng's expression was weird, and he always felt that there were a lot of flaws. It's a strange relationship, right? Bai Yamo couldn't help but shake her head and said, I remember that senior brother Luo has a good reputation and is also very good to the disciples of Zishao Peak, but he happened to meet such a senior sister. Maybe he feels confident because he is favored. There are also problems with his character. How could he be so licky? Bai Feng touched his chin and said, then he glanced at Bai Yamo, by the way, don't be like him in the future. There will be no good results if you blindly give in emotionally. You will only be looked down upon like him. Bai Yamo lowered her head. She was talking about someone else just now. After Bai Feng explained it, she suddenly realized that she seemed to be the kind of person who had no fear. Sure enough, her brother still had grievances and what he did was still not good enough. Hey, it was detected that the Son of Luck had feelings of fear and regret under the host's teachings. He severely attacked the arrogance of the Son of Luck that was gradually rising. He gained 20 points of luck and +2 spiritual power. Closing square bracket. Bai Feng. Little sister, what's the matter with you? I'm teaching you not to be a licking dog, how can you repay kindness with enmity? What's wrong with you? You haven't been like this before, right? Bai Feng looked suspicious. Although the system often exaggerated some trivial things to give him luck points, it was indeed justified. In other words, Bai Yamo was indeed it caused some mood swings. No. Bai Yamo shook her head quickly. She looked at Bai Feng secretly, I just thought of something. Oh, if someone insists on licking you, just ignore it and don't feel any psychological burden. Some people can't be persuaded. Bai Feng nodded. He almost forgot that Bai Yamo was very popular in Tianjian sect. There must be many lickers. Bai Yamo. What does her brother mean? Bai Feng was about to say a few more words, but suddenly there was a knock on the door. Who? Bai Feng stood up and walked to the door. When he opened the door, he found that it was Peak Master Chuning Yan. At this time, she was looking at him with a smile. Won't you invite me to come in and sit down? Peak Master, please. Bai Feng quickly got out of the way, while still muttering in his heart, has the result finally come out? I don't know how Dao sect mainly arranges for him. Should he go to the main peak or where? Chapter 26 Feet break into Qingzu Peak, save senior sister Bai, and capture Bai Feng alive. Yu Mo is here too. Chuning Yan looked at the two of them with a smile. Sure enough, the relationship between their siblings was quite good. Master. Bai Yamo said hello quickly, and then she asked with curiosity and even a little hope, Master, have you already decided? Chuning Yan smiled and nodded. Well, I have been fighting for several days, and today it is finally over. Bai Feng and Bai Yamo. Then Chuning Yan looked at Bai Feng. She did not announce the result immediately, but asked a few questions. Bai Feng, are you still used to living in Qingzu Peak these days? Well, it's pretty good. The environment here is also very quiet. No one disturbs me. Bai Feng nodded, but the house was a little shabby. That's good. Chu Ningyin's smile dropped slightly, and her whole aura became a bit more serious. I wonder if you are willing to become my teacher. Although I don't know the formation, I will help you find it. An elder who is proficient in formations, but, if you have your own ideas, you can also choose other peaks. Bai Feng suddenly began to think deeply. He really did not expect this result. I thought he would enter Fu Peak or Main Peak. After all, he still had a chance to get started with Fulu. Bai Yamo recommended him to enter the Tianjian sect because he had good talent in Fulu. He did not feel that this result was decided arbitrarily. On the contrary, after discussing it for so many days, it should have been decided after many considerations. Well, it can't be because his talent for formations is so strong that others don't dare to accept it, right? Chu Ningyan did not urge her. Instead, she sat on a chair nearby and glanced at the books on the law manifestation that had been read on the table. She felt quite satisfied. After all, who doesn't like a disciple who is talented and hardworking? If Bai Feng is willing to worship her as a teacher, she will capture a few formation masters to teach her apprentices no matter what. Bai Yamo on the side looked a little anxious. Although she wanted Bai Feng to stay at Qingzu Peak, she didn't want to interfere with Bai Feng's choice because of herself, especially because she already owed too much. Soon, Baifeng made his decision. He raised his head, bowed to Chuning Yan and said, "Disciple Baifeng, pay your respects to master. Okay, from now on you can practice peacefully at Qingzu Peak. You don't need to worry about tasks or anything like that." Chuning Yan smiled as she reached out and took out the prepared bamboo sword from the storage bag. "You must also I don't look down on those ordinary spiritual weapons. This bamboo sword is the sword I used before yuanying, and it has been nurtured by me for a long time." Quote, "Thank you, master." Baifeng reached out and took the bamboo sword. Although it looked like emerald green bamboo, it exuded a warm luster and was as delicate and smooth as jade. The bamboo body has a translucent texture, and although the connections between the bamboo joints are slightly protruding, they are as delicate as the texture of jade, making people addicted to it. As long as you like it. Chuning Yan stood up slowly. "I won't disturb you anymore. If you have any questions, you can come to me. If I'm not here, you can go to the sect leader." "Yes, master, walk slowly." Baifeng watched Chuning Yan leave, feeling a little excited at the same time. Although there were some twists and turns along the way, and the sect leaders' meeting lasted for several days, which made him feel uneasy, he finally achieved his goal anyway. From now on, he only needs to stay at Qingzu Peak to isolate himself from all troubles. As for why he chose to stay at Qingzu Peak, if it had been when he first entered Tianjian sect, he might have chosen another place. But after learning that he was being targeted by the Son of Destiny, he didn't have many options. Although his sister Bai Yumo would occasionally give him some luck points like before, but compared to being targeted by the Son of Luck, if he had to fight back to save his life, he would have to be stuffed with luck points. Occasionally giving him some luck points would be enough. Became acceptable. And it is safer here. After all, to borrow a sentence from my father, only the Son of Luck can deal with the Son of Luck. Thinking of this, he looked at Bai Yumo who could hardly hold back the smile on his face, and his eyes were filled with love. "Sister, my brother's life and safety will depend entirely on you from now on." 1 month later, Baifeng hid in the study room and painted with a paintbrush. Although he had joined Tianjian sect now, he could not forget his old profession. Formation is work, and painting is life. Huh, someone is here. Baifeng felt that the formation he had set up was triggered. He immediately stopped painting and put the paintings on the table into the drawer engraved with the mini magic array. After everything was packed up, he walked out of the study and opened the door. "Brother Bai, you didn't even tell me when you came to Tianjian sect." "I didn't know until today." A complaining voice sounded, and it was Lin Yan, Baifeng's best fan. "I heard that you were in seclusion, so I didn't disturb you. Come on, let's come in and talk." Baifeng explained a few words with a smile, and went into the room with Lin Yan to chat. "Looking at you, you should be have you broken through to the late stage of foundation building." "It's a fluke. It's nothing compared to you, a formation genius who escaped from the hands of a 100-faced saint." Lin Yan replied with a smile, and then he sighed again. "Oh, even after a month of seclusion, it doesn't matter. I know how many books by Master Chuncho I have missed, and I will collect them at a high price this time." Every time he heard Lin Yan talking about spring and autumn, Baifeng felt a little weird in his heart. Although he has complained many times, he still can't help but complain in his heart. How did this Son of Luck become his fan? But Baifeng didn't show any strange expression on his surface. Instead, he shook his head sadly. "Brother Lin, you can rest assured that Teacher Chuncho has not published a book in the past month." "Why is this?" Lin Yan suddenly looked surprised. Could it be? Did Teacher Chuncho come ashore? No. Baifeng pretended to hesitate for a few seconds, and then he lowered his voice. "That's it. Teacher Chuncho has some relationship with our Bai family, and occasionally goes back to the Bai family, but the 100-looking saint didn't know about it some time ago. Where did I get this news and broke into our Bai family, so I was affected and came to Tianjian sect in advance." Quote. What? Lin Yan clenched his fists instantly. He could not wait to fight the 100-faced saint. "Brother Lin, calm down. Don't worry. Teacher Chuncho was not injured. It's just that the manuscript was robbed, which delayed the update for a while." Bai Feng explained quickly, and at the same time he whispered, "Don't worry about this. Tell others that Master Chuncho is not willing to reveal his identity." "That's good." Lin Yan breathed a sigh of relief, then he looked at Bai Feng and said curiously, "How did you get affected? I heard that you were almost captured by the witch." "Don't mention it." Bai Feng sighed immediately. "Let me ask you, if Teacher Chuncho came to the Lin family as a guest, what would you do?" Lin Yan suddenly looked thoughtful. "I should find a way to meet Teacher Chuncho and tell him that I am his fan." "Yes." Bai Feng nodded as if he saw a close friend. "I thought so too. I also brought Teacher Chuncho's latest work and wanted him to sign it, but who knew that I was talking to Teacher Chuncho? At that time, I was attacked by a witch." Lin Yan took himself in, and when he wanted to sign his autograph, he was interrupted by a witch. This was really... He immediately knocked on the table and gritted his teeth and said, "This witch really deserves to die." He swore that even if it was for Brother Bai, he would make the saint of hundreds of faces pay the price. Harry Saint. Ah. Okay, let's not talk about these unhappy things. Bai Feng waved his hand. "Has anything interesting happened in the sect recently?" Speaking of this, a gloating smile suddenly appeared on Lin Yan's face. "Except for some people shouting, 'Break into Qingzu Peak, save senior sister Bai, and capture Bai Feng alive,' there is really nothing interesting. This group of people haven't stopped yet." Bai Feng was also a little speechless. "Do I attract so much hatred? Someone can't be deliberately messing with me, right?" He originally said it so casually, but unexpectedly Lin Yan's face turned serious. "This is one of the reasons why I came to find you. I found that someone was indeed adding fuel to the fire, but it's a pity that I didn't have enough strength to find him." Who is involved? Chapter 27. As long as you give this to boys, they will be very happy. Can't you even find Brother Lin? That seems to be a bit of a problem. Bai Feng was not too surprised. After all, he had long known that he was being targeted by the Son of Destiny. It's a pity that he doesn't know who this Son of Fate is. This system is really rubbish, it doesn't even display the name. Dip, when the luck value reaches 1000, the name display function can be turned on. The name display function can be turned on. Closing square bracket. Bai Feng. Then forget it. Seeing Bai Feng's silence, Lin Yan thought he was worried about this, so he patted his chest and promised, "Brother Bai, don't worry, as long as I'm here, I promise to catch this person's tail." "Thank you so much, Brother Lin." Bai Feng did not refuse, but if Brother Lin finds a clue, be sure not to take action first. He didn't want a message popping up from time to time instructing Son of Destiny to fight Son of Destiny's younger brother. "Don't worry, I will definitely tell Brother Bai first." Lin Yan nodded. It was obvious that Bai Feng planned to take action himself, so what he had to do was to find out the information about the person behind the scenes as soon as possible. After the two chatted for a while, Lin Yan resigned. Before Bai Feng returned to the study, Bai Yumo opened the door again and walked in. "Sister, if you don't knock on the door, I won't say anything as a brother, but can you practice hard and stop visiting me every day?" Bai Feng was a little speechless. Although he did need a sense of security, he didn't need you to come to my house every day. You just regarded this place as your home. He felt that if he invited Bai Yumo to live with him, she would agree. "I can also practice here, and the speed is faster than me over there." Bai Yumo put the ingredients in her hands into the kitchen very skillfully. "Brother, what do you want to eat today?" "The food I've been eating lately has been a bit greasy, so let's have something light." Bai Feng looked at Bai Yumo's busy figure in the kitchen and felt something was wrong. When did his relationship with Bai Yumo become like this? Why does his sister feel like she's growing crookedly? She doesn't look like a sister, but looks like an old mother taking care of him. By the way, if you think my cultivation speed is faster, then I will also install a spirit gathering array in your house. As Bai Feng spoke, he watched Bai Yumo put on his apron and skillfully turn on the spiritual chi stove to cook. His eyes were subtle. "If you like this kind of thing, I can also install the spirit gathering array. Get a set for you. Let's talk about it later." Bai Yumo casually changed the topic. By the way, senior sister Ji from Zishao Peak invited us to have dinner. Ah. Senior brother Luo Chen is married. No, it's the junior brothers from Zishao Peak who have broken through the foundation building. It just so happens that senior sister Yu Yao has a good relationship with them, so she invited us to celebrate together. Bai Feng was silent for a few seconds. As for it. As the eldest son of the Bai family, he didn't even have a celebration party after he succeeded in building the foundation. The kitchen only gave him an extra chicken leg. So are we going? Bai Yumo turned around and asked. No, I'm not interested. Bai Feng shook his head. Although he likes to eat melons, he doesn't eat all kinds of melons, especially dog-licking melons. Eating too much can lead to heart attack. And he still has to go to Zishao Peak. Who knows if a few of Lux's son's younger brothers will sneak in and target him. Okay, then I'll talk to senior sister Yu Yao. Bai Yumo nodded, and then she skillfully put the fried vegetables into the plate. Bai Feng thought this matter would go away like this, until... A few nights later, Bai Feng sat by the window, holding his chin with one hand and listening to the cheerful sounds outside, but he only felt noisy. So, why did the celebration party go to Qingzu Peak? Junior brother, stop staying in your room and come out to play. A cheerful voice came from outside the door. Bai Feng ignored it, and a few seconds later he saw a little head sticking out of the window. It was a little girl, whose height was less than his chest. She put her hands on the windowsill and kicked her short legs hard. Junior brother, I knew you were here. Bai Feng looked at the little one in front of him and couldn't help but sigh. This is senior sister Yu Yao, but her brain seems to have stopped growing along with her body, so she often behaves strangely. Seemingly sensing that Bai Feng was not in high spirits, Yu Yao laughed a few times with an apologetic smile on her face. Sorry, I saw you hiding in the room all the time and hardly going out, so I thought let's have a party together to make you happy. Oh, I asked why I came to Qingzu Peak to hold a party. It turned out to be because of you. I really want to pick up her short legs and throw her off the mountain. Is there a possibility that I don't go out because I am studying formations? Bai Feng sighed. His opinion of senior sister Yu Yao was actually pretty good. During the month after joining Qingzu Peak, she often helped him and Bai Yumo. She was indeed a good person, but she was a bit too thoughtful. It fits her height too well. Yu Yao smiled awkwardly. Sorry, do you have anything you want? Senior sister will buy it for you. I am a junior just because I joined Qingzu Peak late, not because I am young. Bai Feng sighed again. He felt that Bai Yumo had to worry less than senior sister Yu Yao when she was a child. Let's go. I've also invited the senior sisters from Zishao Peak. If you're interested, I can help you introduce them. Tilda. Yu Yao lowered her voice and looked around furtively like a thief. No, I'm not interested in the senior sister from Zishao Peak. Bai Feng waved his hand without hesitation, joking. Zishao Peak is the territory of Luo Chen, the son of Luck, especially Zishao Peak, which was licked by the luck-licking dog. Zishao Feng got involved. Well, if you go, I'll give you a good thing. I guarantee you'll like it. Yu Yao looked around furtively again, this time even more cautiously. Don't tell others, this is me. It was hard to buy it. After saying that, she took out a book from her storage bag. The cover of the book was very familiar, especially the elegant words, Spring and Autumn, which made him feel like he was going home to work on a manuscript. Bai Feng looked at Chuncho who was stuffed into his arms, and then at Yu Yao who looked expectant. At this time, he no longer knew what expression to put on. Why on earth are you giving a little emperor uncle to a junior who has just started training for a month? Which disciple can withstand such a test? But he, the author of Little Emperor Uncle, can. Senior sister, why do you have this kind of book? Bai Feng sighed. Because I heard that as long as you give this to boys, they will be very happy. Yu Yao had a smile on her face, as if she understood. What's more, in the book, there are just less clothes. It's not the kind of book where men and women get together. But except for those 3 points, everything that can be exposed is exposed. Yu Yao suddenly looked surprised. Huh. Have you seen it too? Bai Feng's face was expressionless. Didn't Bai Yumo tell you? My home is in Qinghong City. After hearing Bai Feng's answer, Yu Yao suddenly became energetic. She climbed directly onto the windowsill and asked excitedly, "Can you bring me some books?" Bai Feng. Is it ridiculous to ask him, a young junior brother, to take care of the young imperial uncle?
Chapter 28. It turns out you were the one who took advantage of me. Seemingly realizing that she was a little too excited, Yu Yao straightened her body quickly, with a trace of embarrassment on her face. Actually, I like making clothes very much. Teacher Chuncho's books bring me new inspiration every time. Oh, it turns out you were the one who made Bai Yumo's clothes, and you were the one who picked up my wool in Tianjian sect. Today I will settle old and new grudges together. Yu Yao suddenly gritted her teeth. Junior brother, if you are willing to help me, I can give you part of the money from selling clothes. Huh, tell me in detail. As for wool, what kind of wool? I've never heard of it. That is. But before Yu Yao could get closer to share her business plan, a voice suddenly came from the side. Brother, senior sister, what are you doing here if you are not attending the party? Bai Yumo stood nearby, tilting her head with a curious smile on her face. But Bai Feng always felt that this smile seemed a bit dangerous. When Bai Yumo focused on Yu Yao, he quietly stuffed the book in his hand into the storage bag. Ahem. Yu Yao was also thick-skinned. She coughed twice and opened her eyes and said, I just saw that my junior brother was not coming out of the house, so I came over to persuade him to come out and play. Then why are you so close? Bai Yumo still had a curious smile. Ah, why? Yu Yao was suddenly stuck. She looked at the sky and then at Bai Feng, but she only saw him gloating about his misfortune. She suddenly felt like her teeth were itching to bite. Of course it's because senior sister wanted to trick me into going out and use the poor excuse of custom-made clothes for you and me. Bai Feng still helped Yu Yao reconcile. After all, the two of them might develop into partners in the future, so it would be better not to embarrass their partners too much. Seeing this, Yu Yao also took advantage of the situation and hit the snake with the stick. Yes, I originally wanted to give you a surprise. After saying that, she gave Bai Feng a complaining look, as if to say, why did you want to tell this matter? Then why are you so close? Yu Yao opened her eyes and explained, of course I am measuring my body. Otherwise the clothes will not fit. Real. Bai Yumo looked suspicious, but in the end she didn't dwell on this matter. She said to Yu Yao, whose back was already wet with cold sweat, Senior sister, the people from Zishao Peak are looking for you. Oh, I'll go right away. Yu Yao breathed a sigh of relief in her heart, and then she looked at Bai Feng and Bai Yumo. You guys should come too, we have prepared a lot of delicious and fun things. Bai Feng returned to his lazy look at this time. Can I not go? Let's go together. I'm begging you as my senior sister. Yu Yao clasped her hands together and begged. Seeing Yu Yao's humble appearance, Bai Feng finally didn't embarrass Yu Yao too much. After all, he was not a devil. So with a smile on his face, he whispered to Yu Yao outside the window, but the matter of clothes. Here, I'll make one more for you. Yu Yao gritted her teeth and spoke slang that Bai Yumo couldn't understand. Okay. Bai Feng said yes. After all, the two of them still have to cooperate and they can't be too harsh. In the end, in order to prevent Bai Yumo from seeing anything, he added, give Bai Yumo new clothes. I have one. Enough. Okay, let's go quickly. Bai Feng followed Yu Yao. He was willing to attend the party. First, after studying the formation for a month, he found that studying the formation really cost money, so he really needed a source of continuous funding. Secondly, it is also because the luck-lick dog is not a threat before awakening. If it were another luck child, he would not come to increase the money. The result was just as he thought. As soon as he arrived at the scene, he saw Luo Chen, a lucky dog, busy handing the roasted meat to his senior sisters. Not only did he not receive a thank you, the barbecue that had just been handed over was handed to the younger junior brother on the side by the senior sister and younger sister. If you can ignore the dog-licking behavior of Chi Luck, Luo Chen is really reassuring. Yu Yao, you're finally here. At this time, a woman with a pretty good figure from Zishao Peak walked over with a smile on her face. Seeing that she looked familiar with Yu Yao, she should be senior sister Ji from Zishao Peak. You can sit and play wherever you want, don't be too restrained. After Yu Yao said something to Bai Feng and Bai Yumo behind her, she quickly walked over with her short legs. It seemed that she was discussing some matters about the party. Bai Feng was indeed not polite and directly found an empty seat and sat down, while Bai Yumo sat down beside him. There are quite a lot of people. Bai Feng glanced around and saw that many senior sisters and brothers he had never met came over and greeted him with a smile, and he returned the greetings one by one. Yumo, do Qingzu Peak often engage in such activities? He asked Bai Yumo curiously. Bai Yumo shook her head. No, this is the first time, so everyone feels new and comes to take a look. That's good. Bai Feng breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't want to be dragged to such gatherings every once in a while. Brother, do you have anything you want to eat? I'll get it for you. Bai Yumo asked when she saw the new spirit beast meat being brought over. Go together. Bai Feng saw that the spirit beast meat that was transported was very fresh, and a variety of cooking methods immediately came to mind. So he took Bai Yumo and walked quickly towards the location of the spirit beast meat. On the way, he passed by where Luo Chen was, but instead of saying hello, he walked around. At the same time, he also saw up close the person involved in Zishao Peak's celebration party for breaking through the foundation, Zishao Peak's younger junior brother Lin Yu. At this time, this little junior brother was being stuffed with barbecue by several senior sisters, and the plates in front of him were piled up. It tastes quite sweet in the mouth, just like the tea. Hey, a majestic son of luck can be manipulated by this little guy. He is indeed one of the most useless luck lickers. Bai Feng complained in his heart. But the son of luck didn't look for trouble after that. The little villain who took advantage of the son of luck didn't seem to be very stable. When Lin Yu saw Bai Yumo, his eyes suddenly lit up. Although he was already 16 or 17 years old, he still pretended to be immature and shouted to Bai Yumo, "Senior sister Bai, please wait a moment." Bai Yumo stopped and turned around to take a look, her expression a little cold. Her impression of this person was not very good, and the other person also disturbed her in Bai Feng's meal. If the other person was not a junior brother who was doted on by the senior sisters of Zi Zhaofeng, she did not want to have a conflict with Zi Zhaofeng, otherwise she would be afraid not even a glance. Seemingly taken aback by Bai Yumo's indifferent expression, Lin Yu quickly lowered his head and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, because I heard from senior sister that it was senior sister Bai who helped give the elixir to senior sister Yu Yao. I relied on the elixir to break through the foundation building period, so I want to express my gratitude. I was just too excited. Oh, I'm just helping with the delivery. If you want to thank me, go and thank senior brother Luo Chen." Bai Yumo replied calmly, and then planned to continue following Bai Feng. "But it was you who helped deliver it, senior sister." Lin Yu had a little embarrassment on his face, but he quickly hid it. Then he picked up the plate full of barbecue and said with a bit of embarrassment on his face, "There's nothing I can thank you for. I want some barbecue, right? I haven't touched these, and I can't eat them. Why don't you take them to me?" Bai Yumo frowned slightly. She was quite unhappy with this man's stalking character, especially since he disturbed her barbecue with Bai Feng.
Chapter 29. Are you brother and sister playing a little too hard? Before Bai Yumo could get angry, Bai Feng stepped forward, picked up a piece of barbecue and stuffed it into his mouth. Well, the roasting temperature is just right. It's charred on the outside, tender and juicy on the inside. Bai Feng nodded in admiration. "Yu Mo, let's roast this kind of spirit beast meat too. I wonder if this junior brother can tell me how did I grill such delicious meat." Lin Yu's expression seemed a little unbearable. He lowered his head and whispered, "Senior sister gave it to me. I don't know how to bake it. That's really a pity." Bai Feng shook his head, and then walked to Bai Yumo's side. "Let's go, let's pick a few pieces of meat. Barbecue is the best thing to do yourself." At the same time, he glanced at the junior disciple at Zishao Peak. If he sold green tea at Zishao Peak, he still wanted to sell tea at Qingzu Peak. Do you think people in other places are like luck lickers? A smile reappeared on Bai Yumo's face, and she quickly left the location of Zishao Peak with Bai Feng. At this time, Lin Yu raised his head. He looked at Bai Feng's back with a bit of resentment in his eyes. A waste without talent for cultivation dared to disturb him. "Junior brother, stop staring at those cold barbecues and come and try this piece of barbecue." In an instant, Lin Yu's shy smile reappeared on his face. "Okay, senior sister, you can eat too, this barbecue is really delicious. Well, these few dollars should be enough. Bai Feng selected a few pieces of spirit beast meat that looked pretty good. At this moment, a piece of paper suddenly fell in front of him with words written on it. He turned around and saw that it was Luo Chen, the luck-licking dog. Luo Chen had a faint smile on his face. It's the barbecue method. Single quote ellipsis single quote. It turns out that before the change, Chi Luck-lick dog was basically a good person. Thank you. Bai Feng didn't show any pretense and directly accepted the barbecue secrets from the Son of Luck. After he accepted it, Luo Chen turned around and left, continuing to select good spiritual beast meat for his senior sisters. Bai Feng picked up the note and looked at it twice. After remembering the content, he lit a fire and burned the note. It would be better not to keep the items belonging to the Son of Luck, which he had little contact with. Brother, what did senior brother Luo Chen come here to do just now? Bai Yumo took the selected spirit beast meat and glanced curiously at Luo Chen, who had already left. He's giving me the secret recipe for barbecue. Bai Feng picked up the spirit beast meat on the plate. Let's go back to barbecue. Yes. Bai Yumo glanced at the location of Zishao Peak, then tugged on Bai Feng's sleeves. Brother, let's go back on the other side and stay away from the people at Zishao Peak. Okay. Okay. The behavior of Bai Feng and Bai Yumo choosing to avoid was naturally seen by Lin Yu. He squeezed the chopsticks with a lot of force until there was a pop, and the chopsticks broke instantly. Ah, junior brother, are you okay? The senior sister on the side quickly asked with concern after seeing it. Why are you so careless? No, I have just been promoted to foundation establishment, and I still have some bad control. Lin Yu blushed slightly, with an embarrassed expression on his face. I'm sorry for worrying my senior sister. It's because I'm so useless. I still can't control myself after so long. Not good. Don't talk about yourself like that. You are the genius of Zishao Peak. The senior sister picked up the chopsticks, picked up the barbecue and put it to his mouth. Here, open your mouth and eat a piece of barbecue. No, I can do it myself. Although he said this, Lin Yu still opened his mouth. Not far away, Bai Feng felt a little disgusted watching this scene. What a great tea. Really good green tea. If I remember correctly, it was Luo Chen's junior sister who fed Lin Yu, right? Look at Luo Chen again. Oh, he is still grilling meat. He is worthy of being regarded as the safest child of luck by me. Bai Feng withdrew his gaze and quickly walked away from this disgusting place. After that, Bai Feng and Bai Yumo were not disturbed again while they were having barbecue. At most, they only said hello to him and Bai Yumo when they passed by. It seems that due to the influence of Chuning Yan, the master of Qingzu Peak, the disciples of Qingzu Peak have a relatively easygoing personality, and there is no situation where a group of senior brothers and sisters gather together to ask him various questions. After all, his reputation in Tianjian sect, whether it is good or bad, is quite high anyway. At this time, Bai Yumo quietly picked up a piece of barbecue and sent it to Bai Feng's bowl. I still have some here, don't keep sending them to me. Bai Feng looked at the few extra pieces of barbecue that had appeared in his bowl at some point, and then looked at Bai Yumo who quickly retracted his chopsticks and pretended to flip the barbecue, and couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. You really came here for barbecue. No wonder I ate more and more barbecue in my bowl. I thought it was Tianjian sect's barbecue that would replicate itself. Brother, you are only in the foundation building stage. You should eat more. Bai Yumo was not embarrassed when he was discovered. Instead, he replied confidently, this spirit beast meat contains a lot of nutrients and is good for cultivation. Don't change the subject for me. Bai Feng stretched out his hand and flicked Bai Yumo's forehead. I think I can bake it myself after eating it. If you are full, just sit down and rest, or you can just go back to practice for me. Well, yes. Bai Yumo covered her forehead with a bit of dissatisfaction on her face, but she still sat beside him obediently and just watched Bai Feng eating barbecue. Bai Feng, if you are fine, go back to practice and don't keep staring at me while I eat. I always feel that Bai Yumo is paying less and less attention to him as an elder brother. Is it because he has been so talkative recently that he has lost his authority as an elder brother? Oh, it seems like he doesn't have any majesty to begin with, so that's okay. While Bai Feng was eating barbecue, he glanced around and found that his brothers and sisters were all chatting about cultivation issues or the tasks they were going to perform next. He seemed to be the only one doing the cooking. I always feel a little out of place. Although he thought so, the movements in his hands did not stop. As Bai Yumo said, spirit animal meat is indeed rich in nutrients, especially the quality of the spirit animal meat transported here is not low. After eating a few pieces, he could feel a little hot and sweating all over his body, and his spiritual energy was running a little faster. In this case, it is even more important to work hard. Oh, I'm exhausted, but I'm done. Yu Yao sat directly on the chair, picked up the chopsticks unceremoniously, picked up the freshly baked barbecue from the iron plate and stuffed it into her mouth, and then his eyes shone brightly. Well, you're good at baking. Bai Feng lowered his head and glanced at Yu Yao, who looked like she didn't regard him as an outsider. Why are you coming here to steal my barbecue? Of course I saw Xiao Yumo sitting alone and not eating meat. Yu Yao grabbed another piece of barbecue without ceremony. Someone doesn't know how to take care of her, but you are still my brother. I tried to persuade her, but she didn't listen. Bai Feng quickly grabbed the third piece of barbecue before Yu Yao made a move, and then extended the barbecue to Bai Yumo. If you don't believe me, look at it. Yumo, do you want to eat barbecue? Bai Yumo first looked at Yu Yao, who was sitting opposite Bai Feng, and then at the chopsticks that Bai Feng stretched out. She nodded slightly, then lowered her head and ate the barbecue in one bite. Yu Yao blinked her eyes immediately. Are you brother and sister playing a little too hard? Chapter 30. Don't you feel like a dog? Bai Feng looked at his chopsticks, and then at Bai Yumo, who was chewing barbecue with a slightly red face. Even his brain was stuck for a moment. Did his action of directly extending the chopsticks cause misunderstanding? Sister, if you want to eat barbecue, just tell me, don't be so anxious. Bai Feng quietly took the chopsticks back. He looked at the tips of the chopsticks, and for a moment he didn't know whether to continue using these chopsticks. If he didn't use it, it seemed that he disliked Bai Yumo. If Bai Yumo was hurt inside, it would be bad if the system stuffed him with luck points, but if he continued to use it, he felt very strange. Well, brother is teaching you a lesson. Bai Yumo straightened her posture, looking like she was being trained. Forget it, let's continue with the barbecue. Bai Feng did not put down his chopsticks, but continued to pick up the roast meat and put it into Bai Yumo's bowl. Since it's difficult to replace the chopsticks, use barbecue grease to wash them. After Yu Yao joined, Bai Feng enjoyed the party very much. After all, compared to eating alone, it is indeed more delicious when two people compete to eat. Even Bai Yumo was inspired to eat a few more pieces of barbecue. He always felt that something was wrong with her eyes, but when he looked carefully, Bai Yumo was no different from usual. I hope it's just his misunderstanding, but don't let anything happen again. He really can't bear the chance of being caught by the system and his luck will be greatly increased. It's a great meal this time. Thank you for the hospitality, junior brother. Yu Yao patted her belly. I'm going to continue my work. I'll treat you to barbecue next time I have the opportunity. After saying that, she left quickly. The party was coming to an end, and she needed to clean up quickly, otherwise she would be in trouble if the elder saw the mess on the mountain the next day. Bai Feng also felt a little stuffed. He stood up and stretched. Let's go back and rest. Oh, I smell like barbecue. I have to take a shower and wash my clothes when I get back. Hearing Bai Feng's muttering, Bai Yumo's eyes seemed to flash with a light. Then why don't I help you wash your clothes, brother? Bai Feng waved his hand. No need, I'm not really a playboy who only has clothes to eat and food to open. I can do this kind of thing myself. It doesn't matter. Brother, you have time to do laundry, why not practice more and try to enter the gold core stage as soon as possible? Doing laundry doesn't take much time, does it? But Bai Yumo still refused to give up. It doesn't matter, just leave it to me. I guarantee that it will be as good as new. Forget it, we'll talk about it later. You should go back and rest quickly. Bai Feng always felt that Bai Yumo seemed a bit over-enthusiastic. Now that his meals had been taken care of by Bai Yumo, if he were to take care of things like washing clothes again, Bai Yumo would really evolve into a mother. 10 minutes later, Bai Feng walked out of the steamy bathroom and saw that the clothes he had left outside were gone, leaving only a note. He picked up the note and glanced at it expressionlessly. Brother, I will take your clothes back and wash them. You must practice hard. Closing square bracket. Bai Feng. In the end, was he still unable to stop his sister from taking the evolutionary path of his mother? Zishao Peak. A slightly sharp voice came from the house. Senior brother, haven't you ever thanked senior sister Bai? She was a girl who looked to be only 16 or 17 years old, but her beautiful face was covered with frost. Send it as a thank you gift. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Isn't this embarrassing? Zishaofang. Although Luo Chen was the senior brother of Zishao Peak, he lowered his head and remained silent when facing the girl. He did not explain a few words in a low voice until the girl finished speaking. I thanked you, but junior sister Bai refused. After he explained, the girl seemed to be even more angry, and her tone became higher again. Then can't you give it a few more times? Even if senior sister Bai doesn't need these things, then her brother who is not very talented will always need them, right? Question mark. Can't you give it to him? Can't you think clearly about such a small thing? At this time, Lin Yu defended Luo Chen with a look of self-blame. Senior sister, let alone senior brother, this matter is not senior brother's fault, it's all because I accidentally lost the pill. Okay, junior brother, don't explain for him. Senior sister knows this well. Junior sister's eyes softened, she turned around and comforted Lin Yu for a few words, and then she continued without looking back, Senior brother, what are you still doing? If you don't go to Qingzu Peak to make up for the thank you gift, you might as well be as considerate as my junior brother. Yes, junior sister, don't be angry, I'll go right away. A few minutes later, Bai Feng looked at Luo Chen standing in front of his door with an expressionless face. It was really unlucky to see a son of luck standing at his door early in the morning. How come senior brother Luo has time to visit me today? Based on Bai Feng's understanding of Chi Luck licking dog, he definitely didn't just come here to be a guest. I'm afraid there might be some trouble. It's like this. Last time junior sister Bai helped me so much, I just verbally thanked me. It was really inappropriate. Luo Chen had an apologetic smile on his face. Junior sister Bai reminded me this time, otherwise it would be really inappropriate, it's disrespectful. Bai Feng looked confused. If he wanted to express his gratitude, shouldn't he give it to Bai Yumo? Why did he come to his door to give a gift? Seemingly sensing Bai Feng's confusion, Luo Chen quickly explained. Junior sister Bai seems to be not at home, and it is really inappropriate for me to knock on the door and disturb junior sister Bai, so I asked junior brother Bai to help accept it. After hearing the explanation, Bai Feng subconsciously glanced into the room. Bai Yumo was indeed not at home, because she came over to make breakfast while he was still sleeping. No need, didn't senior brother give me the secret recipe for barbecue yesterday? That's enough. He felt that this matter was a bit fishy. If he really wanted to say thank you, it would be better to do it during the party yesterday, especially since they had contacted each other yesterday and gave him a secret recipe for barbecue. There was something wrong with coming here early this morning. He felt that there should be other people adding fuel to the fire. Has the tea man from Zishao Peak not given up on growing tea at Qingzu Peak? So it's better to refuse. No, such a simple thing really can't be considered a thank you gift. Luo Chen shook his head, took out the prepared necklace and handed it over. Please accept this. Bai Feng stared at the necklace for a few seconds. The necklace was silver white overall, in the shape of a flower he had never seen before, and there were faint spiritual fluctuations on it, indicating that it was still a spiritual weapon. It can be seen that the person who gave the gift put a lot of effort into selecting it. And Luo Chen probably wasn't the one chosen. After all, Luo Chen looked like an honest boy who grew up in a sect. He didn't know how to please women, otherwise he wouldn't have fallen to this level. As he was thinking, Luo Chen's next answer really confirmed his thoughts. This necklace was prepared by my junior brother. As a senior brother, I am really a little ashamed. Knew it. If he didn't know what people in Zishao Peak were like, and just listened to Luo Chen's description, he might have really thought that Zishao Peak was a group of good people. It's not good to give such an expensive thing just to help deliver something. In terms of contribution, senior sister Yuyao is the one who mainly contributes, right? Luo Chen shook his head. I will thank senior sister Yuyao again then. Bai Feng was silent for a few seconds. He did not pick up the necklace, but raised his head and asked Luo Chen, what if I don't want to take it? Facing Bai Feng's unceremonious inquiry, Luo Chen smiled bitterly. Junior brother, please accept it. This is also the wish of me and my junior sister. If I don't accept it, you won't be able to explain it when you go back. Luo Chen didn't answer, just smiled bitterly. Bai Feng looked at the embarrassed and humble Luo Chen. He didn't feel pitiful in his heart, but only felt a little disgusted. He endured the nausea in his heart and refused several times again, but Luo Chen still refused to give up. Then, Bai Feng gave up. Since you disgust me, I also disgust you. So Bai Feng straightened his expression, without ridicule or sarcasm, and asked with a very serious look. I don't mean to insult you, but senior brother Luo, don't you think you are like a dog? Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiowave to stay updated with our latest stories and never miss out on a great listen.